welcome back to Football Manager 2018 with FC Groningen in the fourth season, still in the Eredivisie. Obviously, we can't go up anywhere, and we certainly haven't gone down anywhere. Since the last episode, the transfer window has closed, and we've also played a number of games in the league and in the Europa League, and as you can see from the table there, we actually climbed up some spaces. Let's start with some transfers then. We've sold 2 goalkeepers. First up was Kurt Bravo. He has gone to FC Porto. Basically, they really wanted to sign him, and they paid us 900k, potentially rising to £1.5 million, and I think we might even have a 50% sell-on in there as well. Sergio Pat is also a goalkeeper who has left. He has gone to Sassuolo in Italy. He's gone for £1.1 million, potentially rising to £1.5 million. He was not going to kick out Christian Lassu from the starting 11, so I thought it was best to move him on. And finally, a player that we didn't really get enough out of when he was at the club, Jonas Meffert, has signed for Feyenoord. It's only about 500k that they've paid for him, which isn't a lot of money considering I think we paid about £1 million. We paid 220k. Okay, so we made some money from him. I thought we paid a lot more than that. In terms of players that have joined, we've brought in one young player in Alvin Latape, Trinidad and Tobago centre-back. He's got a fair bit of potential. He's only cost like 17k, so it wasn't a lot of money. 2-star current ability, 3.5-star potential ability, probably not quite good enough, but for 17k, you can't really go wrong. Next up, for probably an extortionate value of £1 million, Isaac Becerra has joined. Spanish goalkeeper, nearly said Swedish, definitely not Swedish, Spanish goalkeeper, joined from Leganés. He's come in for £1 million, like I said. He's basically going to sit on the bench, although he does have a first team contract because he wouldn't accept anything less, but he certainly won't be first team. And finally, we've brought in a striker on loan from Porto. Gonzalo Carneiro has signed. I will end up calling him Canonero because it's just easier to say it. He's come in on loan until the end of the season, only on a rotation, but so far he's got 5 goals in 6 games for us. He's looking like a very good signing for us. Another thing I completely forgot to mention in the last episode, we've loaned out a lot of players, as you probably expect. Gregory DeVos has gone to Vicenza, Terence Muinsibiti, he's gone to RKC. I don't know why I did them in that order, thanks very loud car driving past, or motorbike. Kolbein Bigger Finneson has gone to OHL, James Taylor's gone back to Scotland, gone to Dundee, Charlie Brown has gone back to England and gone to Fleetwood, Mohamed Al-Khani has gone back to Belgium, to Waasland Beveren. Sekou Karamoko has gone off to France to play for Rennes. Oskari Salinen has gone to Jarrow, don't know who they are. Kwame Abubakar has joined Al-Khani at Waasland Beveren. Tom van der Looy has gone to Roda JC for the first time in his entire career. He's normally at Emmen, I believe. And Carlos Diaz, as we have mentioned before, has gone to Willem II. Right, business out of the way in terms of transfers, let's talk about results. Because of various cup competitions, we've not really played too many in the league, but we have played 3 games in various cup competitions. First up, though, was a league game against newly promoted De Graafschap, and it was a 3-0 victory. Gonzalo Carneiro opened the scoring after 20 minutes. Julian Green scored a penalty on the 77th, and then another goal in the 88th minute. Late on in the game, Kevin van Diamond gets himself sent off for 2 yellow cards. 3-0 victory away from home. Thank you very much. 3 points in the bag. Starts us climbing up the table. Then in the Europa League, a disappointing 2-1 defeat against Spartak Moscow, a match that we should have won. We were the better side, but we just could not score the goals. Z. Luis scores the opening goal for Spartak Moscow. Gonzalo Carneiro scores a goal for us on 40 minutes. Then Pedro Rocha, really early on in the second half, gets the winner for them, giving them 3 points, and it wasn't the best start to our Europa League games. Then in the Dutch Cup, Gonzalo Carneiro scores another goal after 7 minutes for us against NEC. Robin Schooten scores a goal as well, or an own goal, on 55 minutes, giving us a 2-1 victory. Andrea Pereira scores a goal for them, but it didn't make any difference. Then back in the league, and a 5-1 victory away from home against Vitesse. I don't know where this performance came from, but it was absolutely ridiculous. Gonzalo Carneiro opened the scoring once again. He's done this 4 games in a row now, Carneiro. 25 minutes on the clock for the first goal. Then Julian Green scores on 54. Marco Rusmir gets 2 in 56 and 79th minute. Radek Vodrazka has also scored in the 69th minute for us. Grant Margaman scored a goal for Vitesse, making it 5-1 to us, and that is a ridiculously good victory. And then back in the Europa League, a 1-0 win against Maccabi Tel Aviv. Gonzalo Carniero with the only goal of the game, 64 minutes on the clock, giving us 3 points and actually moved us to second place in the table. And finally, a 1-0 victory against VVV Venlo, and another own goal. Nils Rosselaar with the own goal in this one, although Juninho Bacuna should have had it because it was going in anyway, and Rosselaar just clipped it in. That does mean we have moved up now to 8th place in the table. We've got 2 games in hand over some of the sides above us. We've got 1 game in hand against some of the teams around us as well. And we've got no games in hand against Feyenoord and Heerenveen. It turns out that some more games have also been played before our match has taken place. So we've now got 3 games in hand ahead of Willem II, Utrecht, Roda JC, AZ Alkmaar and NAC, who for some reason are top of the table. PSV, much like ourselves, could be considered as underperforming at the moment. We really could do with getting 3 points here against PSV, which will then, that will push us up to, 6th place in the table with 2 games in hand still. I am starting to build a starting 11. And it has changed a little bit since the last episode. Basically, my back 4 has kind of changed. Well, my 2 central defenders have changed. I'll get on to that. In goal then is Christian Lassou. Constant Nabiu and Josh Timman are the fullbacks. Central defenders are Popovski, the Macedonian, I think he is, and Radek Vodrazka, who, that's a very difficult name to say, and he'll probably end up just being called Radek. Midfield pairing of Josh Onoma and Gianfranco Bolhalder are those 2 are probably going to be our central midfielders for the majority of the season. Dino Hotic on the right-hand side, Julian Green on the left-hand side. Rusmir partners Gonzalo Carniero up front. Hopefully those 2 continue their goal scoring and we can actually edge ahead of PSV in the league. PSV are finally starting to introduce some new gens into their side. Who have they got? Kefano Hugas, an 18-year-old Dutch defensive midfielder. He looks pretty good, and apparently he will cost £12 million to £27 million to sign. We are potentially going to have a huge problem at the end of the season when Josh Onoma inevitably goes back to Tottenham and they don't want to reloan him to us. Also, Carniero, if he's any good, I might try and sign him, but that will rely on us actually having a decent season and probably qualifying for Europe. 12 minutes in and we've got the first highlight of the game. Ramselaar to Milic. Lewicki plays it forward to Ramselaar again. Romero, couple of touches and they've had a go. Dos Santos Sousa has an effort. It's over the bar. 25 minutes on the clock and so far it's not been a particularly exciting game. We have exactly the same highlight as we saw a minute ago. Milic. Lewicki's not going to get there though. Ballhalder to Rusmir. Rusmir has got Carniero making a run but stops on the ball. Popovski, Bolhalder, Josh Onoma. Hotic is to his right if he wants to use him. He does use him. Hotic got 3 players on him though. Onoma gets the ball back across to Julian Green. Takes a couple of touches, crosses it in. Yes, he does. And Dino Hotic at the back post on 27 minutes makes it 1-0 to FC Groningen. That goal does move us up into 6th place on goal difference. This has not exactly been a classic. There's been a total of 5 shots, 1 on target, but we are the fortunate team to have that shot on target, and it actually resulted in a goal. It's going to be 1-0 at half-time. I'm weirdly happy with this performance. Yes, it would be nice to have a lot more shots, but we're stopping them from having shots as well as they're stopping us. So if it stays this way, we get the 3 points, and that's all we really need. Approaching the hour mark, nothing's happening still. Both of our strikers not exactly having a great game. I think we are going to do a substitution, and it's going to be Carniero off for Ibaguren. Actually, we're going to do a double. Seri's going to come on as well. Double change up front. Let's see if it makes a difference. We've got a highlight. Seri doesn't quite win the header. Romero plays it out wide to Vesovic. 2 players on him, but he's probably going to get the cross. And yes, he does. Romero's there. Header just over the bar. Goal kick from Lassou over the halfway line towards Seri. Flicks the header on. Ibaguren's there. Great tackle by Bocanegra. Vesovic gets the ball. Plays it back to Kleiber. Isimat. Hugas, the youngster, forward to Ramselaar. Ramselaar out to Vesovic. They are playing well at the moment. Romero is 1-on-1 with the keeper, and he's forced to save out of Lassou, but gets the ball back. Kostas takes a couple of touches, and Lassou saves Kostas' effort. Stays 1-0 to us so far. Approaching the final 15 minutes, and that's not good. That is definitely not good. Geladze scores the goal, and it all comes from a terrible Constant Nabiu throw-on. I don't really know what I can do to change this. Can I encourage? Just let me click the button, demand more. Just do something. They've had 13 shots now. They have definitely come out in the second half, all guns blazing, but they've only got the one goal to show for it. Approaching the 90 minutes, and it looks like, oh, hold on. Timon with the throw, Ballhalder, back to Timon, kicks upfield towards Seri, doesn't get it. Isimat, the PSV defender, back to the goalkeeper, and I'm not even going to try and pronounce that, runs it forward, kicks over the halfway line, headed down, Ramsalar, Kleiber, 2 players in the box, Romero's one, it is cleared, and Seri's going to collect the ball. Is this going to be a counter-attack for us? Seri forward to Green, and what were you thinking, Alberto? Isimat to Hugas out wide to Milic first time pass, Ramsalar doesn't get it, Ibagruen's gone down but Hotic collects the ball. There are 3 players in the box, if he can just play it across. Seri's one, Josh Anomi, you greedy sod, he scored anyway. How have you managed that? It doesn't matter, we might be picking up 3 points in the most ridiculous fashion ever. So Hotic runs down the line, there's 4 players, Seri tries to get it, Anoma, Bocanegra just smashes it into Anoma, gives us potentially the victory right at the end. 1 minute left to play. Anoma stooping header finds Ibaguen. Runs over the halfway line. He's still going. Edis Ibaguen out to Julian Green. Loses out to Kleiber. Kleiber plays it forward. 45 seconds to play. Kostash. It's not going to get towards Kostash. Vodrazka gets it clear. Bocanegra, the unfortunate player to get the assist for the Anoma goal. Milic. Ramsalar. Ball across field, Kleiber's there, 30 seconds, crossed in, Romero, and at the back post, Maximiliano Romero with the goal, makes it 2-2. It's probably fair, to be honest. It's probably going to be full time. We're in the 94th minute, Ramsalar with the ball, crosses in, hits the top of the goal. It is going to end 2-2 against PSV. It's a fair result, but why do we just concede goals late on? That result then moves us up into 8th place. Obviously, PSV also shift up into 9th place just behind us. We are now moving our focus away from the Eredivisie and into the Europa League, where we have to play Partizani. I don't know who they are. So far in the Europa League, we've played 2 games, Spartak and Maccabi Tel Aviv. We've won and we've lost. Partizani have played 2 games as well. They picked up a point against Maccabi Tel Aviv, but they did get absolutely battered by Spartak Moscow. It's something like 5-1, 4-1, something like that. So I'm hoping that we can actually just destroy them. That's my plan. I don't want to change the starting lineup too much because, as you can see, we are building some nice little green lines, which means people are not just playing well together, they're playing very well together. Josh Timon and Julian Green, for example, Nabiu and Hotic, Anoma and Ballhalder, Rusmir and Carniero, all making some form of partnership. Starting lineup then is going to be the same as the last match. The only difference, Kasper Larsson has come in for Popovski because Popovski is a little bit tired. He's not that tired, he's on 91%, but compared to everyone else, he's the most tired. A very narrow-looking 4-3-3 then for Partizani, but also a very offensive-looking 4-3-3. Could be causing some problems. This guy here, I feel like, he's going to be a very big threat, and he's not terrible either. I still haven't worked out whether I actually care about the Europa League. I mean, I care about it, but do I care about it enough to properly go... Like, I could quite easily, like, if I lose... I'll be okay with getting knocked out in the group stage. 8.5 minutes on the clock. Nabiu's throw to Hotic. Dino Hotic makes a spin, finds Ballhalder. Ballhalder across to the American Julian Green. Green's got Timon making a run behind him, but is never going to find him. Hotic, Carniero, Rusmir, edge of the area. Across to Josh Timon. Timon takes a few touches. Carniero, Rusmir on the volley. It's 1-0, 9 minutes on the clock. The 2 strikers combining. Marco Rusmir gets probably his 8th goal of the season. If we win this, we will probably be very close to actually just qualifying through the group stages. We've got to highlight Hotic takes it. Ballhalder's there on the head, just over the bar. Winning here will put us 5 points ahead of Partizani, and Maccabi Tel Aviv. It might be too big a gap for them to close down. 35 minutes on the clock since the first couple of highlights. Nothing's happened, although we are having a hell of a lot of shots, just none of them seem good enough for a highlight. Speak of the devil, we have a highlight, and it looks like it could be going Partizani's way. Sukaj, that man's name. Batha forward to Kani. Kani in the centre circle, back heel to Villa. Philly's running with the ball. Through ball to Villa, and I said that he was going to be a problem. Lasso makes a great save, gives away a corner. Partizani corner to be taken by Batha, or Batha, depending on where you're from. Marku's there. Carniero stops it going off for a goal kick, and Rusmir can now break. Finds Dino Hotic. Well, kind of. It hit him in the back of the head. Hotic collects the ball, though. Ball forward to Carniero. He's in the middle if he can find him. Rusmir's there. Yes, he does. Gonzalo Carniero and Marco Rusmir combining once again, breaking on the counter-attack to give us a 2-0 lead. Sukaj with a free kick. Larson doesn't get it, but Timon does. Rusmir breaking forward. Carniero. Is this how we're going to do it? On the counter-attack every time. Hotic, 4 players in the box. Rusmir's one. On his hat-trick. Rusmir's effort straight at the keeper. It's cleared for a corner. I almost forgot how to speak. Hotic with the corner. Straight to the middle. Vodrazka. I'm definitely going to have to change his name. Larson with a free kick just before half-time. Timon forward to Julian Green. Green plays it inside. Josh Onoma, plenty of space. Have a go, Josh. He does. It's taken a deflection and Hoxha makes the save. That's not the whole highlight by the looks of it. It's cleared upfield, but Nabu heads it back. Hotic runs inside, across to Julian Green. Takes a control, finds Josh Timon. Green could really do with making a run into that space. Timon's basically told him to. Green crosses it in. Carniero's there. Hotic is there. Hotic hits it just wide. Should have been 3-0. Half time then, we are 2-0 to the good, probably should be more. Marco Rusmir, what are you saying? What did you say? What are you saying? I don't even know. Whatever it was, you ruined it. Almost immediately in the second half, we have a proper highlight. Cotabelli over the halfway line towards Kani. Kani collects the ball. Nabu with a questionable tackle. Vodrazka gets the ball just before it goes off for a corner. Are we just going to lump it upfield? We are going to, by the looks of it. Julian Green, loads of space in front of him, but doesn't want to run. Josh Timon, loads of space in front of him. He doesn't want to run either. Josh Onoma collects it. Carniero's got Hotic to his right. He's running it alone. He's been tackled. Timon's going to collect the ball, though. Julian Green. Where are you going to go? Ballhalder gets it. Across, Josh Onoma, bit of space. Forward to Carniero. Hotic has had a go just over the bar. Julian Green doesn't quite tackle him. I thought he was going to. Progny, who must have just come on the pitch because he's perfectly fit. Something name. Progny's going to collect it. Crosses in. Kani's there. Vodrazka has given away a penalty. Kani is going to take it. Come on, Lasso. Do your job, son. Do your job. Where is it going to go? Straight down the middle, but Lasso has not able to save it. He really should have done because it was straight at him. Are we going to regret not scoring more goals? We've had plenty of chances to do it, but we're just not getting that third goal. Hotic has picked up an injury. That's not good. Right, Seri can come on. Can we? Is any of you capable of playing over there? No. Right. We'll do... Yeah, we'll keep that. Just Seri play as an inside forward. You'll be okay. I'm sure of it. 60 minutes-ish on the clock. Batha. Philly has a go. Lasso makes the save. That is worrying, because if they get a goal, this is a point definitely gained for them and 2 points dropped for us. Carniero wins the header, finds Alberto Seri. Forward, Carniero's going to get on the end of it. Rusmir's in the centre if he can find him. He does! Marco Rusmir and Gonzalo Carniero combining once again. It's a hat-trick for Rusmir. We are 3-1 to the good. I want a fourth. I really do, because I think we're going to concede again. 63 minutes on the clock. Vodrazka is coming off because he's on a 5.9. He's been booked. He's given away a penalty. We just have to bring him off. Popovsky is coming on. 71 minutes. Baltha collects the ball. Kani doesn't get there. Timon does. Where are you going to go? Forward to Ballhalder. Ballhalder, plenty of space with him. Julian Green, is he just going to lump it forward? Yes, he does. Rusmir is running on, and it would be great if Carniero can get a goal here. He's gone it alone, you greedy son of a bitch. You should have passed it. Lasso's goal kick over the halfway line. Rusmir heads it. Finds Julian Green. Green to Josh Onoma, loads of space. Hotic is making a run, doesn't use him. Carniero then does. Sorry, it's not Hotic, it's Seri. Runs inside. Ruzmir's there. It's saved, kind of. It's actually more of a deflection off the defender. Carney is going to get it clear for Partizani. Are they going to actually get an attack from this? Bartha. No, they're not. They're definitely not. Bartha with a free kick, 83rd minute. Popovski gets it clear. Carniero forward to Seri, the only player up there. But look at the Groningen players coming forward on the left-hand side. Seri across to Ruzmir. Ruzmir to Carniero. Carniero hits it just wide. That time, Ruzmir wasn't greedy, and maybe he should have been. 5 minutes of injury time, and we haven't quite entered it yet. Marku, ball forward. Carney doesn't win the header. Larson does. Philly. Villa, who's been booked probably for quite a while now. That man's name, Fej Zalu, sure. Josh Onoma gets the ball. Alberto Seri, Carniero. Carniero's got Nabu and Seri to his right. He's found Constant Nabu in the middle to Ballhalder. Ballhalder's running about with it. Seri. This is a proper highlight, but I'm not really sure what way it's going to go. Julian Green. Forward to Ruzmir. This is the way it's going to go. Marco Ruzmir gets his 4th of the game. It's 4-1. Marco Ruzmir is going home with a match ball and 1/4 of the next one as well at the moment. Maybe there's time for him to get his 5th. Bartha with a free kick. This is actually a proper highlight, so maybe there is definitely time for him to get his 5th. Ruzmir on the ball. Back all the way to the goalkeeper, Christian Lassou. Take your time, Christian. You've got 3 minutes to waste. Long ball upfield to Carniero. Doesn't win the header. Ballhalder gets it. Ruzmir taking it out wide. Across to Josh Onoma. On the volley. If that goes in, that is goal of the season. It is a wonderful save from Hoxha. Onoma to take the corner. Whips it in low into the middle. Malotta's going to get it clear. We've got very few seconds left now, really. And it's going to be a 4-1 victory. A well-deserved 4-1 victory. Probably should have been a lot more. But I'll take 4-1. 29 shots and 12 on target. That should have definitely been more than 4. Ruzmir gets a 9.9 rated. Gonzalo Carniero, the unsung hero of the game, gets an 8.8 and 3 assists. Dino Hotic has pulled his groin, which is not great. We've also picked up 320k for winning that game, and it does mean the Europa League group looks a little bit like this. There we are, Group G. Spartak Moscow, top of the table. 3 wins out of 3 with 9 points. We are second, 2 wins out of 3 and 1 defeat. Next up in the group, I think we've got Partizani again. Next time is going to be away. Next episode, I'm going to do 2 Eredivisie games. I've done, obviously, the last 2 episodes. They've included an Eredivisie and a Europa League. We're going to just do 2 Eredivisie. So it's going to be Roda JC and AZ. Although, I get the sneaking suspicion, if we beat Sparta in the Dutch Cup second round, this huge gap between these 2 matches will be filled with a cup game. Thank you very much for watching this episode of Football Manager 2018 with FC Groningen. If you did enjoy, if you wouldn't mind leaving a like, if you want to see more, hit the subscribe button, and I will see you next time.